My company sends my team DoorDash like gift cards, or I guess like redeem points. But which is like great because I can pick what I want to eat and go from there. But there's another team at my company that all they get is Dunkin' Donuts gift cards, and like half that team apparently like doesn't drink coffee, and they just keep doing it, and they've already voiced their like that they don't drink coffee, and that they keep giving them Dunkin'. I just think it's so funny.
Huh.
They're like, yeah, but you guys have like 2 people on your team that do drink coffee, and they're like, yeah, but there's like 12 that don't. So like, come on.
Our company
Dunkin' Donuts
has been giving us Tim Hortons K-Cups most weeks. For some reason, the order that was put in leading into December, they got K-Cups that are by this company called Happy Belly. And they are not Tim Hortons that way.
They're not good.
No, it's very thin coffee. It is not the same quality. And I'm sure that we got it at a cost savings, and I'm sure Happy Belly has a great business model where they fit into that niche of discount coffee. But it's a pretty serious downgrade. People have been complaining about it at work.
I should get some Cafe Bustelo.
I love Cafe Bustelo. Don't even.
It's so
I got a block of that up in my cupboard right now. I never have time to make it.
It's not too expensive. It's kind of like reasonable.
Yeah, and it's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. I got this friend who makes it with like cinnamon and stuff in it. I need to get her recipe, but she makes it so good.
That could be good. I can see that tasting good with some cinnamon.
Yeah. Changes lives.
All you need is a little bit of cinnamon.
Welcome to the A4NB4Y podcast, the Legend of Zelda theme podcast where we go chapter by chapter through the game. I'm your host, Ryan Fonzie, and this week I am Dompe the Gravekeeper. And with me, as always,
I'm Cameron Hagee. I'm a Tamagotchi you haven't fed in a day and a half, and I'm about to just disappear forever. You should probably fix that.
Oh, no.
Evan.
And I'm Anthony. And I got that him in him.
that
In me.
him?
Got that him in
Oh, that
me.
him.
Got that him in me.
Okay.
Himiny.
Sir.
I didn't know you was him, man.
I'm him.
Himiny crickets.
Himiny crickets.
Is him that dog? I'm so confused.
I just got I just got a really funny visual of like Jiminy Cricket just like walking with some like swag down some steps, and then there's like a little tagline that says "Him in me crickets." I don't know why. I thought that was so funny.
All right, that's gonna be a new sticker design.
Him in me crickets. And then it shows that dog.
He still got that dog in him, though.
Okay. Great.
I'm so lost.
I am too.
So last episode, we got out of this Temple of Droplets. We busted up an Octorok, and this king ghost done popped up and was like, "Hey, come find my crypt. I got something for you there." And that's pretty much all he says. And then Eslo's like, oh, probably that spot on the map we haven't been to yet. I think the king even marks the map, which is a wild thing for a projected ghost king to do.
He's got this.
Yeah. So Eslo's like, we should probably hit up the elemental sanctuary first, and then make our way over there. And that's kind of the way we go, right?
You know, now that you bring up Eslo, I got something. I got some beef with this man.
You got beef with Eslo?
Yeah. So he's chilling out on our hat, right? Or he is our hat, I guess you could say. And he's just chilling up there. He hears everything. He hears all our conversations. Now, before he was turned to a hat by Vati, he was a pretty, I would say, high-ranking Minish, right? Like he was.
Yeah, I mean, he was a wizard, court wizard kind of deal. Yeah.
Right. So like all the Minish should know who Eslo is, the great wizard Eslo of the Minish, right? Like he's like that guy. He's that dog, right? My thing with Eslo, with this beef, and this goes up to even like the later in the episode when we start talking to some other Minish NPCs. Eslo doesn't talk to them. And I know it's probably weird if he was just to be like this random hat was to just jump off like Link's head and just be like, yo, I'm a hat, but I'm also Eslo. And they'd be like, what? But also he is Eslo and he is a wizard. It's probably not too far fetched to be like, yeah, Vati, he sucks. And they'd be like, yep, true. And he never does. He never talks to any Minish. He never I mean, I guess he doesn't need to because Link is also that dog, but like it might help the story along, especially with like that library guy. If and the guy's like coming up to like kind of get some like street cred with Link. I don't know. Just my thought.
I mean, this has to have been a deliberate choice, right? Like, kind of goes along with let's make Link a silent protagonist. If his hat was talking to everybody the whole time, I feel like it would take the feeling of agency away from the player a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, you'd basically be like, oh, okay, so now we're going to watch Eslo have this conversation, and then we're just going to do whatever those two come up with. Versus having NPCs talk to Link the way that they kind of always have, and Link just not saying anything because you kind of just fill it in yourself.
Yeah, I can see from like that standpoint, but it just seems weird that he's never interacted with any Minish.
Right. Especially with
weird.
the Minish. Like, why with humans he doesn't, but with the Minish it is weird that he never talks to anybody.
And not even like any of the Minish, just like any of the elders. I'm shocked he's never like chatted with them. It's just weird. It was my beef. It's my beef with Eslo in the game, but I just noticed it. I just thought of it this episode when I was talking to the other Minish that we're about to get to, and I was like, "Why is this a thing?"
Okay. So security at the castle's tightened up. So now we have to find an alternate route to the elemental sanctuary. It involves sidestepping a bunch of guards. Very much like Ocarina of Time-esque, hide and seek type deal. When we get in, we get to now make a third projected Link. So much fun.
Yo, that was my dream.
That was your dream?
I'm so glad we've gotten to this point.
Why?
Sorry, that's just sarcasm because this this ability kind of annoys me. I don't like when I have to use it, and now they're like, "You got a third one." I'm like, "Oh boy!"
Oh, just wait till we get to the end of the game, my guy.
Oh, I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna love it.
Oh yeah, this is actually yeah. I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm not gonna say much more. But I just a heads up, I guess. But yeah, we get the third Link, which we need for the next section, which is going to the Hyrulean Royal Graveyard. I don't know why the graveyards are always like intrinsically linked to the kingdom. Like, I guess if you're not really part of the kingdom, then they're not going to have you in the graveyard. But it does seem like it's always like, oh, these are the people who swore fealty to the king, and if you didn't do that, then you ain't got a headstone.
You just in the ground.
But this is a combination, is what this is. I mean, I think getting there involves going through a cave that we've been to before, but there was a block that conveniently needed 3 links to push, and we haven't had that ability until now. So we can go back through this cave. We can take the alternate route, and it kind of dumps us into a combination of other graveyards in games. Like, it kind of reminds me a little bit of like maybe the Link to the Past graveyard, except it's crossed with the Lost Woods from the first game, from The Legend of Zelda, just like one, right? Because it has the Lost Woods mechanic of you have to go the right direction or else you get kicked back to the beginning.
But it tells you what the right direction is.
I know, there's a sign puzzle, which is so fun. And if I hadn't done it before, I probably would have gotten caught off guard by it, but I was expecting what was coming. Because it's like, and the first couple directions are like left, left, up, and then suddenly it starts saying things like same as the one before, or same as 2 before, or same
That
as
first
the
one
second
again.
direction. Yeah.
Yeah. I was glad
then
that
you
they
gotta-
kept it interesting. Because
Yeah.
it could have just been, left, up, right, down, left, up. But instead, they actually made you think, okay, last time was this one. What was the one before that again?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool. It's a cool little mechanic. I mean, the ghosts were kind of like busy work, it felt like. I'm
The
like
guinea.
they were never a real threat, but they were kind of just annoying being there. If I'm being honest, they just have booze in this for some reason.
They grab you and they start licking on you. It's weird.
I mean, yeah,
They kind of hold you there and then they do like this whole roundabout with their tongue where it's like, "Bleh," and it goes up in the air like one of those rides at an amusement park that uses the centrifugal force of falling from the top to then shoot itself back up again. It's like the tongue is doing that.
is there a I don't know. Do you think that's a cultural thing? Like, I don't want to say it's just like Japan, but I I don't know a whole lot of ghost stories that involve ghosts licking people. But I've seen enough like anime. Like, I think that was like Haunter's move, right? Would just like you just lick Pokemon, blah, blah,
Mhm.
right?
And then
you do that
paralyze
quick.
them.
Right. Like, what is that? Like, why is that the thing? I don't know.
Mm,
It's a
I
good
have to look
question.
this up. Maybe that'll be a research for next episode.
I wonder if it is a Japanese thing because ghosts here definitely aren't known for that. And I know a few ghost stories from like Mexico, and that's definitely not a thing in those either.
I'm wondering if
No, baby. No rap right now.
I guarantee you there's probably I'm going to do some research later and hopefully have something next episode, but the name of the ghosts in Link or Zelda are Guinea. I'm wondering if there's like a yokai in Japanese lore that is famous for like licking, which is why they always do the ghost with the big, Mario, Nintendo does it there. I wonder if there's like maybe a yokai that is like famous for that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Isn't the main character or the main yokai in Yokai Watch also kind of got a big tongue like that? The regular ghost-looking guy?
Whisper, I don't see it. Oh, he does have a big tongue, yeah.
I swear there's like a couple pictures you can find that he just like has his tongue out.
He's got a big ginormous tongue, yeah.
Yeah. He fits that bill.
I guess there's like something about I don't know if this is anything because it's just like a random post. But there's like a phrase called getting licked by a ghost, and that's like when you have extreme pins and needles, like you wake up and something's asleep, like when your arm's asleep when you wake up. Like something about being licked by a ghost, like that's what that's supposed to indicate. So it's like it's associated with sleep paralysis and stuff like that. Like I don't know. I don't know if any of that's real. Like this is my main hub of information right now is Reddit. If that tells you anything, so just take it with a grain of salt.
I did find something. So there is a yokai named Chochinobake. And Chochinobake is a ghoul ghost that possesses old style Japanese lanterns, like, paper lanterns and that sort of thing. But it's pretty known for having a large mouth, and it would stick out its tongue to scare children. It also, yeah, yeah. And it would also have only one eye in some variations and sometimes two, depending. And it looks like the Chochinobake could also grow a face, hands, and a torso and wings, apparently, in some instances of the yokai. And it says it's based, any like pop culture that features like lantern ghosts in games or movies or shows, are based off this, as well as, I'm assuming, anything with a long tongue, like a ghost with a long tongue, because this thing is massive.
I just found the Akaname. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Akaname. I don't know. I don't know how you pronounce the word, but it's Akaname, and it translates to the scum liquor or the filth liquor.
The scum liquor. Oh no.
And it's a Japanese yokai that apparently licks the filth and scum that collects in bathtubs and bathrooms.
Oh no.
So it's supposed to be like to scare people into making sure that the bathroom is clean. Like, because if you don't, the scum liquor will come and like
Clean it for you.
be all up in there enjoying the mess you left. Yeah, I don't know. It's very strange. So I hope that's not what they're getting at. I hope these ghosts aren't filth liquors, because that would make this a lot grosser than it needs to be.
I ain't never getting grabbed by another one again.
Yeah, the economy looks very human-like, though.
Yeah.
He's like super human.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't look like the one you described. I did see that one as well.
That is scary.
Right? All right. So apparently ghosts and tongues are things. That's I'm think I'm done with this search.
Same.
If anybody has more actual information about this, like, feel free to leave it in the comments. But all right. Cool. So
we're going through the graveyard.
Yeah, eventually we make it to the actual graveyard area. There's a little bit of a lantern maze, but not much of one, leading up to Dompe's shack. You meet Dompe, and as long as you have... I'm trying to remember how this works, because he recognizes something that you have, as to say, like, oh, well, if the ghost told you to come here, that was probably Gustav, right? So I think the idea is, if you were to like skip out of the Temple of Droplets and get here early, he wouldn't even entertain Link. He'd just be like, yeah, I'm busy, don't even talk to me. But since what's up?
You can't get here early like that, because you need 3 Link guys to get here, right?
Oh, you're right. Gotcha.
So it's impossible.
Right. So Dompe's like, well, that was probably Gustav. Here's the key to get into his crypt.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I see that guy all the time. I'm like,
yeah, he's
okay.
always just out and about. Whatever.
That's just
Dompe's
good old
pretty
Gustav.
chill in this one, because in other games he's super afraid of ghosts. So, but yeah, he gives you the key. You go outside and immediately get stolen by a crow.
Yo,
Takuri.
The who?
The Takuri.
Oh,
I don't know why, but like, Nintendo does things that are just weird. So like, in every game, Crow is just Crow. Like, legit in the like documents of the game, Crow is Crow. But in this game, they have like different colored crows, and they call them Takuri. Why?
All right.
Hmm.
So the key gets snatched. You see Dompe again. He's like, "Oh, the crow got your key. Okay, well, you better go
You better
charge
go
into battle."
charge into the situation.
And so to get your key back, you just gotta find the one tree and ram into it and get your key back. It's just like the biggest nothing fetch quest. I don't know why this is even a part of it. Like I don't know if it's just supposed to be funny that it happened. Because the whole thing takes about 20 seconds to resolve.
I don't know. It took me 30 because I got a little too close to that tree, and that bird is like, "Oh nah," and he went to the other side of the graveyard.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, you coming for me? Nah.
I didn't do that. I just charged into the tree. He didn't even move. I was like, all
Yeah.
right, I guess I got the key now. And I went back and got into the crypt.
I was looking for what tree that he was in, and by the time like my eyes registered, oh, it's this one, I just kept walking for like an extra second, and that's when I got too close. And he just booked it, and I'm like, I gotta go find him again.
Gotcha. So I guess that was what this was supposed to be. It's supposed to be like, oh, you gotta like find him and hit him without getting too close kind of puzzle. And it's super defeatable if you know what to do the first time, I guess.
Oh yeah. Even if you don't, it only adds like another 5-10 seconds onto it. It still doesn't take very long.
Crow doesn't go that far. There's only so many trees in the graveyard.
He goes to the one right next to Dompe's house, so it's like not even that far of a run.
Gotcha. So we get up and past the big gate, and then we get presented with a Shadow Link puzzle.
Oh, you know what else is funny about this part before you get to there?
Yeah.
Is that you can't open this door by yourself. Dompe gives you the key to get into the door, but you can't get in even with the key. You have to talk to Dompe, who's now standing next to the door, so he can let you in. Why did he give you the key? Because clearly you gave it back to him so he could let you in.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, you got to get in there. Here's the key. You get outside, go fight the crow for the key back, get back to Dompe, and he's like, all right, now give me that key. I'll open this door for you.
Right.
Like, wow.
Thanks for carrying it 15 feet for me, bro. Give me that back.
I think it's just to bring the comedy factor of Dompe, because he's always just been a comedic relief character, I feel.
That's fair, because it is nonsensical the way he has you do that stuff.
So silly. All right, so there's a couple ways to do this Shadow Link puzzle. One of the ways is to push a gravestone out of your way that's like right in the middle of everything. And then run all of your shadows down a big open lane, which would have been probably easier than what I did, which was just kind of rush them through like a needle, like the eye of a needle, basically. And like one of them almost disappeared, but I got them away from the thing that they were conflicting with fast enough where they didn't disappear, and then just kind of got them into position from there.
Yep. I went far left, and I had, I think, one on each side of me. I was in the middle, and then they each like ran through a part of the fence, but I made it so fast that they didn't disappear.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was the intended route, but
no, I think the intended route was to push the grave, because I did that later. Like I was pushing on graves to see if there's any hidden paths, and one in the middle slid up, but there was nothing underneath it except for
did it really?
Big old square of open space, and I was like, oh, this was to make it easier for me to get through earlier. Okay, cool.
Bro, I pushed half of those things and none of them moved, so I assumed it was impossible.
There's one. Okay, so there's one that moves right in the middle of everything, and then the one to the left of the main crypt also can be opened. The crypt on the right opens with a kinstone fusion, so you can't open it from right in front of it. You have to go fuse kinstones with an NPC, and then it'll open.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So as far as I know, 3 of them open, but you can only push 2 of them. Well, I don't even know if I'd call the middle one opening. It just moves out of the way. So 3 of them can move, 2 of them open, but one of them is a kinstone. So you would have only really found something with the one. I think it was like a heart piece too, though. So I mean, not bad.
What?
Yeah.
Jelly.
You nobody got time for kinstone fusions with these clowns.
So
No,
Nah.
at some point here I did do a random kinstone fusion and got something.
yeah. So how'd you guys feel about the crypt?
Nice toucher. I like the Gibdos where I burn them and then they're like, oh, just kidding, I'm a Stelphos. And then you have to mess them. It was a fun touch.
Oh, I didn't actually burn any of them.
Oh, yeah. I saw the Gibdo and I was like, if Tears of the Kingdom has taught me anything, or Majora's Mask, it's that you can burn these guys.
Yeah, traditionally they are weak to fire.
And I expected to
Fair.
kill them in one shot because, yeah. And then they turned into a Stelphos, and I was like, excuse me? Then I was like, that's actually kind of cool. It's
But
like,
yeah,
it's an actual
Stelphos is
person.
not nicer to deal with than a Gibdo in this
No, it is not.
game. What do you mean? What? The Gibdos like hug on you and just like trap you if they hit you. But Stelphos just jump around. Like
I
they're
don't
not
like
that
that
strong.
jumping. Because,
Okay.
no, I'm serious. I would rather fight a Gibdo because the controls on playing through the phone emulator,
Yeah.
because it's a touchscreen and there's no physical like D-pad, it's so sensitive to my thumb that I mess up a lot, like in moving, and I end up getting hit a lot, like if I'm trying to go up and down, because the D-pad it's so like touch responsive because it's a cell phone. I miss that physical D-pad so much. Like I'd rather play on a keyboard on a computer than my phone, but I'm not.
You
So
gotta get a backbone for that joint.
I'm not getting a backbone for this game. But yeah, it's bad sometimes, and I think the Stelphos are some of the worst enemies to fight because when I'm trying to dodge them and they jump up, I'm like trying to go one direction and Link just doesn't go, and then they hit me. Mind you, I got enough hearts that doesn't matter, but it's still annoying.
Gotcha. And there's a couple of moving platform Shadow Link puzzles.
Yeah, don't
Or-
call that a puzzle.
Run around the spike trap Shadow Link puzzle. Yeah, it's more of an obstacle course.
Yeah. If you have to look at that for more than 4 seconds to figure out what you have to do,
I get what you're saying. It's not like
it's pretty obvious.
yeah.
I don't know, man. I kind of
Puzzle's not the right word. I
Yeah,
tend
it's
to categorize everything in Zelda games as, is this a combat situation or a puzzle situation? And because it's not combat, it just falls into puzzle.
That's
Even though
fair.
that's not like, it's not something you really need to figure out more than you just need to have skill for. So I guess I should just consider this platforming, right? Like that's what I think that would fall under.
casual platforming.
Yeah. The left side is especially super casual because there's not even like a single enemy or anything in the way. It's just some
Yeah.
moving platforms. But the right side has
Go down, yeah.
the right side has one spike trap, which if you don't time it right, could get in your way.
Could kill one of your links.
Exactly. We can't have that. We need all 3 of them joints, but yeah, me and the 2 of them.
Right. And then I think we're pretty much good to go and meet up with Gustav again.
Gustav.
So Gustav, I mean, he probably tells you a story about who he was a little bit, and then instructs us to go over to the Vale Falls and gives us a golden kinstone.
We have to go to where it all flows from.
Yeah.
The source of the flow.
The source of the flow in Hyrule.
Which I want to say,
much deeper than it is.
I thought all the water in Hyrule always came from Lake Hylia. Is that not like pretty much no matter what rendition of Zelda you're talking about, Lake Hylia is supposed to be like the water center of the place, isn't it?
I think the source is usually Zora's River. but it always flows into Lake Hylia. Typically. Lake Hylia is like the first like basin of the water, but it flows from Zora's River. There is no Zora's River in this game.
Yeah.
So
They would live here though if there was.
That's what threw
Sure.
me off. Because in my brain, I was always thinking that water come from Lake Hylia. Which, no, you're right. It is Zora's domain first. So that was my bad. But there is no Zora's domain, so I still would have, went back to Hylia. Nope. Somewhere else. Top right of the map.
Yeah.
The doors and the waterfall is kind of reminiscent of Sora's Domain and Ocarina of Time anyway. Like that whole like setup.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. And then you kind of have to like climb a mountain to the side of the waterfall
Yeah.
to get up top. I spent a bunch of time in this area because there's like secret side areas that I couldn't get to, but I wanted to get to. And I didn't even figure out how to get to some of them yet. Some of it's like kinstone fusions that I can't do yet, I found out. Which is really frustrating because out of the 100 fusions in the game, I think I'm sub 15 now. Like I'm almost done with fusing kinstones.
Jeez.
And unless Minister Potho comes back into availability, I don't even know that I can hit all 100. I think I might have missed my chance. Which feels really bad. Like if that's true, if they never open up a door and he's back, because I think I fused with the king, but I never fused with Minister Potho before they got locked away on me. To do 99 and then be like, well, you didn't do the one at the beginning of the game.
You got kinlocked.
Right. You get kinlocked out of the completion. That would really feel bad. So I'm hoping that something changes before we go back to the sanctuary again, but we'll see.
I didn't really spend any additional time here than I needed. Because at this point, it was getting on towards like 9:30 tonight, and I'm like, we're starting at 10. I don't know how much more I got left, but I don't really want to spend. I blew open the obvious hole in the wall with the bomb and got mysterious shells. Oh boy, I was like, that was a good use of my time. And then I just kind of went about it.
Gotcha. Yeah. It's and the other thing about this area that makes you never want to stay here is that there's a couple of pestos that, as far as I can tell, don't take damage. They're like pea hats is what they actually are, but they act like pestos. Like they fly up in the air and they drop bombs, and they when they come down to attack, like I hit him with a boomerang, I hit him with my sword, I hit him with a bomb, I hit him with all kinds of stuff, and they just never took any kind of damage.
Yeah.
I
They
tried
never
to suck
even went
them
down to the
into
ground on me.
Yeah.
They just drop a bomb and then they fly over to a random tree and get another bomb. I'm like, is that a bomb tree though?
Rudest enemy.
Yeah. Just really, really annoying
Jimmy
to not have any way
Pesto
to deal with them.
over here.
Jimmy Pesto. He's the pea hat's cousin, this one. He's got the propellers and the arms. Who made this guy? Yeah, no, that just a really bothersome. Like I even tried the gust jar, and nothing. I couldn't figure out any way to do damage to them.
I wonder, which I didn't try it. I don't know if maybe you tried it. So there's an enemy coming up that you can use Bob Pachi on. And I'm wondering if maybe you can Bob Pachi these guys.
If you could just can Apache them.
Mm-hmm.
But Kanapachi fires like horizontally, right?
I mean, they've come down a little bit for me.
Yeah, they usually do. These ones, I didn't stick around long enough, I guess, to see them. They just were always up in the air.
Yeah, I just couldn't figure out a way to kill them. I'm wondering if like maybe you can like Bob Pachi them into the ground or something.
I just read up on it.
Oh, you
Okay.
did?
Yeah, so a much more aggressive variety that carries bombs also appears at Vale Falls. Talking about pea hats, right? These pea hats fly much higher than much higher in the air and carry bombs beneath them. After swarming around Link, they will drop their bombs after which they will flutter close to the ground and attempt to slam into him. They can then return to the air and produce another bomb. These P-hats are vulnerable only when they are close to the ground. However, they are still impervious to the sword, and the Gustrar and Boomerang will have no effect on them. Instead, these P-hats can only be defeated by shooting an arrow at them.
Oh.
Yeah. So I guess I never tried the bow, even though
That's actually... I was thinking, like, if this wasn't a game that was kind of outdated in terms of the system that it was put on, like, you could probably just fire arrows up into the air at them while they're flying, carrying something. But, you know, being that we're locked to pretty much just one axis here, the horizontal axis, you can't really do that.
Huh.
I mean, I guess they could have still... This theoretically would have been possible to put something like in that in the game, where like hold down the bow button and then use the analog stick to kind of pull it back so you can aim up in the air a little bit.
Yeah. Some Animal Crossing type stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Did either you guys get the light arrows?
Nah.
Okay. They're technically later, but just thought I'd mention that since we mentioned the bow. But it would be in this episode.
Are they required?
I don't think they are. I think it's a bonus item.
Interesting. Oh, you know, on my way over here, or was it on my way? I think it was on my way over here. Or maybe it was while I was running around. I didn't even get to the falls yet. I found the last Tingle. I couldn't get to him, and I didn't feel like spending a bunch of time trying to, but I found where the last Tingle I'm missing is. The light blue one.
Oh, nice. Alright. To get that magic boomerang?
Yeah, because I haven't got that yet.
Gotcha. Alright, so we make our way up to the top of this mountainside. And
we find a tornado.
We find a tornado. We also find a big Goron that we can't talk to yet.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just chilling back there for now.
I didn't even see. I saw something back there that was moving a little bit, but it was like all I could see was the top of his head. So I didn't actually know what it was.
Yeah.
So that's Big Brother Goron.
I'm gonna go ahead and spoil this for myself because I know that he's optional. Right? Like I don't think you ever have to talk to him.
Okay.
So he appears in the Minish Cap atop the peak of Vale Falls after Link fuses Kinstone pieces with the rightmost Goron digger. So I guess that Goron cave that I talked about kind of ends with this guy. If you do, okay, I'm trying to figure out how to say this because now I just read ahead and it actually did become a pretty harsh spoiler. So it sounds like after you beat the game,
whoa,
you can come back to this guy if you've done the Kinstone fusion that it talks about, and he will eat your small shield and transform it into a mirror shield.
That's sick.
Why would they put it after you beat the game?
Yeah, it feels like it's kind of wasted on post-game Goron over here.
Also, how would you even know to come back?
I would like to get Mirror Shield prior. Yeah. I guess it's more like a, hey, look, you found this secret, but I mean, Mirror Shield, wouldn't you want to use that throughout the dungeons? Like, at least let you get it before the last dungeon or something. You could reflect projectiles theoretically with a Mirror Shield. Or at least elemental ones.
That's wild. All right. So I don't feel so bad about never having talked to this guy, because why would I have? All right.
But did they even mention that you can talk to him or go back to him? How would you even know to go back there?
I didn't even honestly know it was an NPC. It kind of just looked like a moving circular mountain to me as I ran past it.
Yeah. Yeah, he is a little bit in the background, right? So, but yeah, we find a tornado.
And now we're going to the clouds.
We're going to the cloud. We went everywhere from the deepest, darkest crypt to the skies.
And Eslo is so scared. He goes, "Am I here?" He goes, "How could you do that? That was so. We could be falling right now, but good job, we made it."
Yeah, right. You come up to the tornado, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't feel good about this. We should probably leave. This is like." And then Link's like, "We've been jumping in all the other tornadoes."
Right. So what if this
Like,
one's a little
wow.
bigger?
He's like, "Yeah, you're good. Your seams will hold out. Don't worry about it."
Fee, fi, fo, let's go to the clouds.
Now, right when you get to the top of the clouds, there's the wind guy, right, who tells you about the problem. Tells you that the
I
wind
think it's
mysteriously
daughter.
disappeared.
It's actually Haley, the girl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Haley.
They all have weather names.
She's the one that I kinstone fused with, and it spawned a golden enemy on the falls.
Nice.
Oh, they do, and I didn't even realize that until now.
Yeah, they all of the Wind Tribe has weather names. It's interesting. I don't remember most of them now, but I remember noticing it as I was going through. Pretty cool naming convention. But yeah, Haley's there. I think maybe her mom is there with her nearby. And they're like, "Man, if I could just get a good homeward breeze going, we could get back home." And then she's like, "Could you go ahead and find some kinstones to make that happen?" And sends you on what is probably one of the most confusing. This is like,
It all looks the same.
I know
It's like being in a desert in so many games where it's like, oh, pick one of these 4 directions and you go in it and everything looks the same no matter. It's like the Lost Woods version of a desert, basically. That's what this reminded me of in the form of there's no landmarks, there's no nothing. You just have to be like, does this feel like a place I've been yet? I don't
it's
remember.
like a Breath of the Wild Divine Beast puzzle, but worse somehow.
And you have to
Because it's
like
5
you have to
terminals,
fuse.
right?
I thought it was 6 of them. Isn't it 6? I
might
mean,
be.
even if it is
A
5,
lot.
I did one of them, and I'm like, what do I got to do? 3, and then I saw 5 or 6. I'm just like, oh.
Right? They introduce cloud sharks, which are kind of cool.
I like how
Cloud
they can
piranha.
jump off the clouds and
Yeah.
just fall to their death. One, I didn't do the one
That
of
is
them.
the
I
thing,
didn't.
yeah.
I didn't even defeat either of them. I was like, what am I supposed to do to get this cloud? And then in the process of me thinking that, they both just jumped off the edge and unlocked it for me. And I'm like, oh,
just go ahead and
okay.
get anything for the bushes.
Yeah, right. This guy needs some help. Let's just. Oh no, they yeeted.
And not only do they introduce them, but they introduce an enemy that's just like, why is it in this game? A little ways in, and it's a Lukidu.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
thinking, like, why is this guy here?
And he's
Of
not
course-
even like a traditional. He just kind of hides in his cloud.
No, he
Yeah.
shoots electric balls at you after a while.
He shoots
Oh.
lightning at you, and it's like, bro, like,
I just vacuumed him up out of his blockade, and then he was crying like a baby.
can you imagine Thor Lukidu?
I didn't even know to use that. Like in the beginning, I tried to slash the ball to be like, Phantom Ganon fight, shoot the ball back at him, hurt me. Tried to use the shield, reflect the ball back at him, hurt me. Tried to use the gust jar to absorb the ball, and before I had it on him long enough, the ball hit me because you can't absorb the ball, and then that hit me. I tried almost everything that I could in this game. I think I took 4 lightning balls to the face trying to reflect them in some manner before I gust jarred him. It was like, oh, that's it.
So what I was kind of saying earlier about this guy, and I didn't know this at first, but I went to his character page because I was wondering, like, maybe there's some like lore on like why he's in this game. And apparently you can Bob Pachi them and it flips them upside down off their cloud.
Gee.
And you can destroy them. And I'm like, why didn't I do that?
That's like the only thing I didn't
gust
try.
jars.
I know, right? I never think of Bob Pachi.
I even tried shooting arrows at him.
He's like the most OP item in the game.
Yeah. You guys just need to. I mean, when we get into this next temple, let me tell you, the item we get here coming up is gonna be good.
Is it better than Pachi?
It's
legitness.
It is legitness. I will say that. would I say it's better than I think the concept of Bob Pachi's cane is a beautiful thing. Like there's so much there. There's so much poetry and just like whimsy, I think is the word I'm actually looking for. It's just such a great item. This next item is just like, why did we have this other item?
It's better than the bow.
Nah.
Okay.
It's another traversal thing. It's like more flip wizard type stuff, but like, I don't know. I think you'll like it.
No, it's not going to invalidify Pachi, is it?
I don't think it does. I think they still make things where you can only get through it using Pachi, and then there's some things where you can get through it using either, maybe.
Okay.
But it's cool. Anywho.
Any hoozles.
We-
Along our traversal in the clouds, we get to see a new type of tornado. Even yet again, we have red tornadoes that flip us up to like the next level of clouds above us.
Yeah.
Is another way that we traverse here. Usually, like for every red tornado, there's also a hole in the clouds above it that you can use to drop back down to where the red tornado is. So it kind of gives you like a 2 or 3 level of clouds thing, which is part of why it's more difficult to remember where you've been, because it's like you could be on the 3rd level and you go down to the 2nd and then you go down to the 1st, but it looks similar to the first area you were in on the 1st floor, but it's actually on the other side of the clouds. It's hard to keep track of what level of clouds that you're on.
Yeah. It's it's very confusing. Definitely went around the loop like 2 or 3 extra times more than I needed to just to find like the last one. So, yeah, if you miss one, it's rough, but I think the position of the pinwheels is supposed to be kind of a hint as well as to whereabouts across the map they are.
Didn't notice that.
But yeah, it's a lot. One thing that I will say about this puzzle that I do appreciate is that if you guys remember going through the Castor Wilds, in order to get into the area with the Fortress of Winds, we had to get some golden kinstones and unlock 3 statues that ground pounded like away a barrier. And this is like it feels like a similar system, right? Like going and finding kinstones, but they like doubled their infrastructure for some reason in the clouds. And when you do get them all, it creates a wind that goes back to their main building. But sorry, one thing about this section that I thought was kind of rude was that the little girl's like, "Hey, can you help me find the kinstones to get the homeward breeze?" And then she's not even there to talk to you about where the wind is going to go or to be like, come with us to see our home area. She's just like, oh, look, the wind started. All right, I'm out. Doesn't
Peace, yo.
like her and her mom are like, oh, there it is. All right, time to go home. And they just kind of leave Link lost in the clouds somewhere.
They do just kind of dip.
When I saw that, I was like, in real life, I would never expect that to be how this plays out. Right? I mean, I know that obviously we're not going to be running around the clouds or anything, but just the social implication of it is like, what? They did not care about Link at all. Like, they left him for dead.
It was a little less jarring for me because the last one that I did was actually the one at the very beginning. So from my perspective, like it looked like she just walked over and they jumped in the tornado and it was kind of just like a, hey, follow us. You're right over there. You should have basically been able to turn your head to the left and watch us go up the tornado. But if you were all the way in the cloud maze doing it and then they just kind of dip, yeah, I could see you being like, excuse me.
Like, you're welcome, I guess.
I'll catch up. Don't worry. I got this.
Yeah. So we get up to the I don't even know what they call this tower. I don't know if it has a name.
It's the tower.
Yeah, because they don't call this the ruins. The ruins are the actual temple, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not sure what they call this. This is just like their chill place.
It's the tower.
where they tell you that they have way too many kinstones. They really wish someone would take them off their hands, and you can find like 7 kinstones in this building.
Yeah.
Every chest in here is a different kinstone.
And the girl who tells you that has like 2 fusions that you can do with her while you're here. And everybody else, I mean, you might find like 1 or 2 other fusions. Have you guys met Gregel yet?
No.
So
Question
Gregel is on like not the top floor, but he's on an upper floor, and he's like cleaning his head with a towel. At least he was in my game. All right, so let's figure out what this says. Just walk up the screen. You find Gregel here, the same old man you saved from a ghost earlier. If you didn't do the earlier quest, sorry, you're out of luck. Oh no!
No Gregel.
No Gregel. Gregel's passed on. Y'all didn't save Gregel.
Nah.
Our world is Gregel-less.
I don't know who Gregel is.
All right, well,
And now we ain't never gonna.
Here's what I didn't know, because I didn't want to spoil Gregel for y'all. I thought you'd be able to save him when you got here. Apparently, that's not the case. I guess you have to save him earlier for this to work out, but he actually gives you the light arrows.
Oh,
no.
Gregel.
So y'all got Gregel locked out of light arrows. I'm sorry.
Oh, geez.
So wait, so how does the light arrows work? Is it like just automatically added to your bow, or is it like a selector?
No, it's automatically added to the bow. They don't take up any magic. They're just stronger arrows.
Gregel.
That sounds so nice, though.
Yeah, if I had known, I would have told you. You definitely got to do this. I mean, I think I did mention that there was the Wind Tribe dude in Hyrule Castle that opened the teleporter and everything. When we did that episode, I kind of described the process. I did not know he was the light arrow guy until playing this section.
This is like some From Software mumbo jumbo where like
right
and NPCs move around. Like what are they doing with this in the early 2000s? Like doing this From Software stuff. Like
they're taking a page out of Dark Cloud 2's book, being like, "Oh, you left the Moonflower Palace and you didn't finish everything. Oh well, I'm never gonna go there again. Actually.
Oh, you want to finish your Spheda out? Too bad. Can't do that.
Gone forever.
Georama not complete.
Have fun starting another save file, my guy.
Wow.
You got Gregel locked? Oh, start over. It's fine.
You want them light arrows? You're gonna start from the beginning.
Dang it.
Good thing there's only like 2 dungeons left in this game.
And we got weak arrows.
Yeah. But eventually we can get to the Wind Tribe Elder, known as Sirach. I don't know what Sirach is. I don't think that's weather.
Cirrus Cloud, maybe?
Maybe.
Is that a cloud? I feel like Cirrus Cloud is.
Because rock is like the common name for a certain bird enemy in the Zelda series, right?
Yeah.
Helmarock, just like everything that ROC, a rock.
I got a rock.
So if it was Cirrus Cloud, it could be some kind of mix between Cirrus and rock. I don't know. But she's the one who apparently has been watching our entire journey from the clouds and tells you that they're going to open up the path for you to go to the Palace of Winds.
Now, this was pretty awesome for me to see. So I recently been playing this game called Sunhaven. It came out last year. Really good game. It's kind of like a Stardew Valley farming / monster kind of game. Very quaint, majestic, and there's a certain character, her family, moves to Sunhaven from the clouds, and her family's an angel. I'm actually married to this person in the game. It's the person that I basically like romanced. But yeah, so she comes down, and then like eventually when you get to know her enough, she actually brings you back to her home, which is in the cloud tops. And playing through this was really interesting because the architecture of the building, like the tower, is very similar to their home and the cloud tops, and how her father can watch anything in Sunhaven. I was like, oh, Sunhaven devs got it from Minish Cap. Because I thought it was a really cool concept, just like a race of angels that live in the clouds. And
Did
I mean,
Minish
obviously, it's
Cap
different things,
did
but
Minish
yeah.
Cap get it from Dragon Ball Z though?
Oh my
Did
gosh.
Dragon Ball Z get it from Journey to the West, though?
Where was the very first giant, like, big thing in the sky that they could
Did
watch
Journey of
all
the
of
West
world
get it from God?
I don't. Oh my goodness. It's all connected. This story's been told throughout millennia.
All leading up to Sunhaven. No, I'm just kidding.
Culminating in Sunhaven.
Oh goodness. All right.
So she basically lets us up to the roof where there's another huge tornado that swooshes up right up into the Temple of the Winds.
Yeah, I saved and quit before going into the tornado at all. I just saw the pretty birds and I was like, oh, that's nice. I saw the tornado. I was like, nope, we're done.
Yeah. I went up the tornado. Eslo told me something. I don't remember what it was. Probably just like, oh, this is the temple they were talking about, something like that. And then I save and quit.
Oh,
Yeah.
and I wasn't paying attention if we went over it, so my bad. But he also kind of like went over that they pieced from the wind ruins. So he basically like made Eslo's assumptions correct and said like, yeah, now we took that gem element. We took the element with us. We kind of pieced out and just was like, yeah, we put it up in here.
Yeah. And Sirach kind of mentions too, she's like, yeah, if like nobody can get next to that thing that like she basically knows that Vati's after the whatever force it's called in this game. I forget what they call it. It's like primal force. It's like one of the I don't know. It sounds like it's like one of the first forces that created the world or something. Anyway, it's like, yeah, if you don't have the four elements, then you can't even approach it. And Vati probably knows this by now. So, but it's like, to me, that feels like the Ganondorf can't get into the sacred realm
So
problem.
he waits.
Where, yeah, where he's just waiting for Link to collect the pieces and come back. And we're just kind of like, now everybody in this zone knows what's happening, and yet we're not going to be like, okay, well, we're just not going to open the path for Vati. You can just go back down to the ground and live your life. You know, like it's like, no, you gotta finish your sword and take him on directly, apparently. So we'll figure it out. It'll be fine, I'm sure. Right. So yeah, we're granted access, and that's where we're gonna stop with this episode. You guys got any
Wait.
final thoughts before we move on?
So, oh my god. Are we getting another upgrade of the stinking power where you can make your links become 4? We get 4, and then we get the 4 sword from the element by doing the thing. Because then we get, if that what happens, we get the 4 sword, and then we have 4 links because we upgrade our ability, and we beat Vati. And then after Vati dies, he doesn't actually die, and then that's what happens with the 4 swords, and we're already powerful with the 4 sword. And we have the 4 links, and then we fight him again. Is that what happened? Did I just call the rest of the
Sure.
game?
Sir, I'm gonna need you to calm down.
All right. It's only because I played 4 swords that I'm like kind of cruising through that thought
Yeah.
process.
In concept, you're not far from what happens because I believe this is a prequel to Four Sword Adventures. But it's such a weird, contrived connection. Like, I don't want you to get disappointed when it's not what you're hoping for.
I mean, I'm hoping it's far from 4 swords anyway, because I
Yeah.
don't like that game. But yeah.
Okay. Great.
What about 5 swords?
Now we talking. Get that fifth sword in there, changes everything.
Good game now.
That would be the best band name. You ready? Bob Pachi and the Five Swords.
Well, now we got to start a band.
Or
Now we gotta
actually, it
start a
might
band.
sound
We need
better.
two
Bob
more
Pachi and the
members.
Four Swords.
Nah, I don't like it as much.
The Five Swords of Pachi.
All right. Cool. Well, thank you all for listening to our episode of A for No, B for Yes. This has been our run up to the Palace of Winds episode. Next time you hear from us, we'll be talking about the Palace of Winds. So be on the lookout for that, and we will catch you next time on A for No, B for Yes.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to feed me.
Did y'all get all that? You gotta feed them. Don't forget.